Man, this place just looks so pretty. And the cutscene is nice because it actually deposits us in our room. This is the personal quarters for the Inquisitor. I think if I check, yeah, I think this is the highest point in all of Skyhold. It's the highest tower. And again, you can customize your room if you really want to by unlocking certain types of decor. Here you can change what you happen to be wearing. Let's switch our look a little bit there. We have also choices for formal wear as well. Oh, actually, I kind of like the idea of that one. Let's see if we have any other choices here. Yeah. We have armor as well. I'll probably be coming here to switch it up every now and then. Let's go out into the light here. Yeah, I kind of like that. A bit formal, but very pretty. We have some recipes. They're called recipes, but basically means of improving the aesthetic look of some places of Skyhold. And then if we go down...
They have certainly spared no expense.
Can make our way back down to the area where more of our companions are. You can see here's where some of the ravens are roosting. This is the way in which Liliana maintains her spy network. And you notice that we can sit in the chair. This is basically the chair of judgment. So if you have people that are waiting for you to pronounce their fate, then that is where you do it. You see things are already starting to be cleared up a bit.
Someone emptied a whole bag of turnips into the fire. Ah, Maker, the smell is everywhere. I was going to use them for dinner and then... Oh, I can't recall who took them.
Probably Cole then. Alright, last time we went this way and we talked with Solus.
Sleep well?
I've never done anything like that before. Do you regularly talk to people in dreams?
No. Consider that one more rule you have effortlessly broken in your rise to power. I had no idea that the anchor would allow you to dream with such focus. It is truly remarkable. But I am reasonably certain we are awake now. And if you wish to discuss anything, I would enjoy talking.
We've done this one already.
We'll talk later.
I think we're good for now. Don't want to spend too much time wandering around here, because we'll be back here again later. And yes, he has started making his murals here. You notice there's a strong wolf motif around here. Keep that in mind, because that is a hint about something. I'm assuming this is something about Corypheus, though I could be wrong. So now if we ascend the tower here, here we find Dorian.
Brilliant, isn't it? One moment you're trying to restore order in a world gone mad. That should be enough for anyone to handle, yes? Then, out of nowhere, an archdemon appears and kicks you in the head. What? You thought this would be easy? No, I was just hoping you wouldn't crush our village like an anthill. Sorry about that. Archdemons like to crush, you know. Can't be helped. Am I speaking too quickly for you?
You don't need to worry about me. I can keep up.
Yes, I noticed that.
Did you know?
Certainly. If you were a slack-jawed yokel, you'd already be dead. I always assumed the Elder One behind the Venatori was a Magister. But this is something else completely. In Tevinter, they say the Chantry's tales of Magisters starting the Blight are just that. Tales. But here we are. One of those very Magisters, a dark spawn.
Who does the Imperium say started the Blight?
You know how it is. Not us. They say Darkspawn were always there. Magisters and the Blight aren't even related. Is that a surprise? No one wants to admit they shit the bed. But if Corypheus is one of the Magisters who entered the Black City and he's Darkspawn, what other explanation is there?
Clearly the Imperium has no idea.
The Imperium is a land of lies built upon secrets, built upon falsehoods. I knew what I was taught couldn't be the whole truth, but I assumed there had to be a kernel of it, somewhere. But no, it was us all along. We destroyed the world.
You didn't do anything. Those men did. 1,000 years ago.
True, except that one of them is up and walking around right now. Not to mention I have idiot countrymen who would happily follow him down that path again. No one will thank me whatever happens. No one will thank you either. You know that, yes?
That attitude must be why they kicked you out of the Imperium.
They didn't kick me out? Well, only because they never got around to it. Eventually, they might have. All I know is this. Corypheus needs to be stopped. Men like him ruined my homeland. I won't stand by and let him ruin the world. Oh, and congratulations on that whole leading the Inquisition thing, by the way.
Anyone who's belonged to any kind of organization or country that's done a lot of stuff that they're not proud of can probably empathize with Dorian a lot.
It occurs to me that you're a mage.
That just occurred to you.
I mean, you must have been part of the Circle of Magi in the south. Meaning, you were locked away like a criminal, at least until you rebelled. It's such a bizarre notion to me.
There are worse things than being kept in the circles.
Death, starvation, being hunted by rabid mobs? Yes, I can imagine. Some would say Tevinter is hardly better, depending on which mage you ask. Still, it's so utterly foreign. It's more surprising that everyone would take the idea of a mage inquisitor so calmly. Or maybe it's not calm. Maybe the Antivan crows are swimming in gold from all the contracts on your life. Good luck with that, by the way. Grand fun being the one in charge.
I should go.
Naturally.
Thanks for the little hint of what might be going on there, Dorian. You put our minds at ease. Now, we weren't able to speak with her at Haven, but here's Fiona.
Greetings, Inquisitor. That is your title now, yes? I should thank you. The way things ended in Redcliffe, you could have demanded anything you wished. Yet you chose to make us equal partners. I was not expecting that.
You rebelled for good reason.
I knew you, of all people, would understand. Huh. I've been a Grey Warden, Grand Enchanter, leader of a rebellion, and now I am none of those things. Odd where fate takes you, as you're no doubt well aware.
And she was, in fact, a previous Grey Warden, and she's noteworthy as the only Grey Warden who has left the Order and may not actually experience the calling, which is something that seems inevitable for most Grey Wardens. They end up being called down by one of the archdemons and have to fight Darkspawn until they die. Or Because the alternative is that eventually they do become ghouls, which are kind of semi-dark spawn that have to be put down. You always have a death sentence looming over your head if you're a Grey Warden. But something about what happened in her past seems to have excused her from that. Again, that's one of the side stories that you can read up on as part of the lore.
You were once a Grey Warden.
Mine is an unusual circumstance, Inquisitor. Normally one is part of the Order until death. But long ago I found myself stripped of what made me a Warden. They tried to reinitiate me, but nothing worked. Nor could they figure out how it happened. So I was sent to the Circle of Magi, the first Warden ever to be kicked out. Quite the achievement.
You sound happy about it.
Becoming a Warden seemed like a dream when I was first conscripted. Towards the end, however, my brothers and sisters, they felt I had somehow cheated death. I was glad to leave. It also made me unique in the Circle. I had an opportunity to do more than I ever could as a Warden.
You mean you began the Mage Rebellion?
I pushed for our vote to free the Circles of Magi. But I cannot claim sole responsibility for what followed. Still, despite all the chaos, I would do it again. What happened had to happen.
You're not still the Grand Enchanter then?
Any claim I had to the title ended along with the Circles of Magi, although some still call me by it. Perhaps the Circles will one day be resurrected. If so, another will take the position. Until that time, I lead my fellow mages by default. I will do what I can for them.
You believe they'll recreate the Circle of Magi after all this?
It depends on who the next divine is, and what she offers. We can't go back to the way things were. But endless warfare benefits no one. That is why I agreed to Justinia's conclave. There must be another solution.
I've been meaning to ask, how exactly did the Venatori take control in Redcliffe?
Mages constantly found their way to us while we were there. Stragglers, most of them strangers. I had no way of knowing some were actually Tevinter. They spread whispers, encouraged talk of an alliance, and we were desperate. I'm not proud of our choice, but we were certain Templars were coming. It could have ended far worse.
I trust everything is well with the mages.
We're mostly relieved. An alliance with the Inquisition offers security, although who knows for how long.
I'll leave you to it.
Before you go, Inquisitor, a question. In Redcliffe, after we left, did you perhaps speak with King Alistair? Considering who you are?
He wasn't in the mood to talk.
It's just that I knew his father, Marek, back when I was a warden.
You want me to smooth things over with him? Introduce you?
No, it's too late for that. I only wanted to know if he was happy. His father had such hopes for him. Don't mind me, Inquisitor. The concerns of an old woman. Nothing more.
I don't believe her. The veil. I detest this notion that the veil is some manner of invisible curtain that separates the world of the living from the world of the spirits. Whether it be called the Fade or the Beyond is a matter of racial politics I refuse to indulge in at the moment. There is no this side and that side when it comes to the veil. One cannot think of it as a physical thing or a barrier, or even a shimmering wall of holy light. Thank you very much for that image, Your Perfection. Think of the veil instead as opening one's eyes. Before you opened them, you saw our world, as you see it now, static, solid, unchanging. Now that they are open, you see our world as the spirits see it, chaotic, ever-changing, a realm where the imagined and the remembered have as much substance as that which is real, more in fact. A spirit sees everything as defined by will and memory, and this is why they are so very lost when they cross the veil. In our world, imagination has no substance. Objects exist independently of how we remember them or what emotions we associate with them. Mages alone possess the power to change the world with their minds, and perhaps this forms the nature of a demon's attraction to them. Who can say? Regardless, the act of passing through the veil is much more about changing one's perceptions than a physical transition. The veil is an idea. It is the act of transition itself, and it is only the fact that both living beings and spirits find the transition difficult that gives the veil any credence as a physical barrier at all. From A Dissertation on the Fade as a Physical Manifestation by Marino, Senior Enchanter of the Minrathous Circle of Magi, 655 Steel Age. And Vivienne is up here. I think this is where she'll be most of the time. She gets a balcony of her own.
You've made such intriguing design choices for the castle, my dear. They must be inspired.
I strive to match your elegant sense of style.
When things have settled down a bit, I will take you to Val Royeaux and introduce you to my seamstress. And appearances are important. We can't have you mistaken for a commoner.
I've never been much concerned with maintaining the distinction of rank.
It's not about rank, darling. It's about power. You command an army of the faithful, outfitted by the coin of the nobility. You must be a woman who commoners aspire to be, and to whom nobles bow.
My actions will inspire them. Appearances don't matter.
It would be a lovely world if we were all judged purely on our conduct, my dear. But it would not be this world. The stories of your accomplishments will spread, and with them, doubt. Are you truly the woman from the tales? They will question what they've heard, but they will believe what they see. They must see someone greater than legends.
If that's your standard for me, what does the Divine have to live up to?
Andraste and the Maker cast very large shadows. The Divine absolutely must set the example for all Thedas. She must seem to be the embodiment of the Maker to the faithful. She needs the authority of the Maker and the charisma of Andraste. It will be no small task to fill that vacant throne.
I have a feeling that Vivienne, though, might want to actually try to fill that throne. Alright, this one I'll just let you guys read on your own. It's like we can't really cross over there, at least not yet. Woman named
Here is
Helisma.
the request. Greetings to you, Inquisitor. I am to serve as assistant to any research concerns. You'll find my skills are exceptional. I hope they prove useful.
You're taking over the duties of Maeve?
Yes. She said she was needed elsewhere and that I should serve the Inquisition to the best of my ability.
What is she doing?
I wasn't told.
So our previous master of beast research has disappeared for some reason.
You were made tranquil.
Yes, I am tranquil. It was necessary due to a willful nature that made wielding magic a dangerous endeavor. I remember that being a difficult time, but I cannot remember why. My skills are well used in my current position.
Another tranquil.
How can you serve the Inquisition?
I am to aid in the research of all creatures encountered in your efforts as leader of the Inquisition.
What makes you particularly qualified?
I remember being fond of animals. I don't remember why.
What is your evaluation of how we're doing?
Adequate, based on the partial improvements to Skyhold.
As you were?
Yes, Inquisitor.
I don't think we have any new research to turn in. Oh, I guess we had a little bit. Okay. Got some influence out of that. Okay, go up one more level and Liliana should be at the top. Here we go. I'm gonna let you guys read this one. Oops. Okay. Another one over here. Lots of them around this time here. Oh, so I thought that was one over there, but nope. Okay. Nice little touch here. We have a small Andrastian shrine here. Liliana's keeping the faith. And one more. How's it going, Liliana?
I'm sorry.
So am I.
Uh-oh.
The names of those we lost. You must blame me for this. We all saw who attacked us. We know exactly who to blame. I keep wondering if I could have done something different. When the first of my lookouts went missing, I pulled the rest back, awaiting more information. If they'd stayed in the field, they could have bought us more time. I was afraid to lose my agents. And instead, we lost Haven. You look out for your people. That's a good thing. Is it? My people know their duty. They know the risks. They understand that the Inquisition may call upon them to give their lives. Our people aren't tools to be used and discarded. Your instincts were right. Their lives matter. Can we afford such sentimentality? What if Corypheus? We're better than Corypheus.
And that pretty much is the tension that's going to be pulling at Liliana through most of the rest of the game. Which is actually pretty close to the same kind of tension she had back in the original game.
I'm listening. The Divine's death hit you hard. How have you been feeling?
Oh, you are referring to my outburst in Haven. I am much better now. Justinia was such a dear friend and there were so many things going wrong.
Sometimes it's best to talk these things out.
I was there when the hero Ferelden defeated the Archdemon. We won the day, and I thought the Maker smiled on me. When the Divine requested my help, I went to her. I owed her that much. I sacrificed so much to do the Maker's work. But now, Justinia is dead. I was angry. I felt betrayed. But I shouldn't have let my emotions get the better of me. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. You were grieving and upset. I understand.
Thank you. Now enough of this. Let us think more pleasant thoughts.
Anything I should know?
It seems that the Orlesian army is awaiting our next move. Some of the generals are sympathetic to our cause, others are still suspicious. Our actions are under a great deal of scrutiny.
I'll leave you to your work.
I think that the Inquisitor's room is just over there. It's either there or there. I think it's the one on the left though, because this one side looks over just the mountains. But this is where Liliana sends out her ravens from, which makes sense. And with that, I think we're finally done with our initial walkthrough of Skyhold. Let's see. Oh no, I still can't get down from there, so I need to go down this way. You can spend a long time, even longer than we have now, exploring around, but I don't want to take this too far. So we're going to head to the war room. We might stop off and say hello to Josephine one more time. The other thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and sit on the throne there, because at the very least we do have Alexius to judge. This is the last door I wanted to check. Yeah, this is the one that goes straight to our room. So yeah, we're done. Okay. Let's pass a judgment here.
Impressive, is it not? Fit for a leader, meant to show influence and the burden of it. It is where the Inquisition will sit in judgment, where you will sit in judgment.
Who will I be judging exactly?
Those who have done wrong. You will know of them, at the very least. All this presumes they have survived their initial encounter with you, of course.
Still more lives in my hands.
You are a beacon of law, Inquisitor, as others retreat from responsibility. But this needn't be bloody. The Inquisition's sovereignty is derived from the allies who validate it. You are both empowered and bound. Justice has many tools. If their application is clever, execution may even seem merciful by comparison.
Is there anyone I should judge?
Take the throne when you're ready. We will bring him before you. This was a surprise. After you return from the bogs, we discovered this man attacking the building with a goat. Chief Movran the Under. He feels slighted by the killing of his Avar tribesmen, who repeatedly attacked you first. What should we do with him? Where should he go?
And this was from a mission that I did off camera a while ago, while all of you were voting on who Aurora should romance. Yeah, I basically ended up killing his son because his son had kidnapped a bunch of Inquisition personnel and threatened to kill them unless he got to fight me. And now his father apparently is launching goats at the castle.
You answered the death of your clan with a goat?
A courtroom? Unnecessary. You killed my idiot son, and I answered, as is my custom, by smacking your holdings with goat's blood.
Don't look at me.
No foul. You meant to murder Tevinters, but got feisty with your Inquisition. A red-headed mother guarantees a brat. Do as you've earned, Inquisitor. My clan yields. My remaining boys have brains still in their heads.
Perhaps something got lost in translation. Well, if his intent was to attack Tevinter, then we can just let him go. I mean, he doesn't seem like he bears us any particular ill will. It sounds like he was just kind of fulfilling some kind of tradition in returns for having a relative be murdered, I guess? The Southern Avar tribes are just really strange.
It seems our conflict was accidental, Chief Movran, but it can't be repeated. I banish you and your clan, with as many weapons as you can carry, to Tevinter.
My idiot boy got us something after all.
It seemed pretty much everybody approved of that decision, which is actually kind of rare. Most of the time when you pronounce any kind of judgment, no matter what it is, some of your companions will approve and some will disapprove.
You recall Gerion Alexius of Tevinter. Ferelden has given him to us as an acknowledgement of your aid. The formal charges are apostasy, attempted enslavement, and attempted assassination, on your own life, no less. Tevinter has disowned and stripped him of his rank. You may judge the former Magister as you see fit.
I remember what would have happened to Thedas if his treachery had succeeded.
I couldn't save my son. Do you think my fate matters to me?
Will you offer nothing more in your defense?
You've won nothing. The people you saved, the acclaim you've gathered. You'll lose it all in the storm to come. Render your judgment, Inquisitor.
A man who's completely surrendered to despair. Now this is something that you actually only have the option to do if you're a mage, which is to make someone tranquil. But I remember Josephine saying that some of your judgments can be such to the fact that execution seems merciful, and I think that's one of them. Again, from seeing Dragon Age 2, the tranquility ritual seems a fate worse than death, especially for a mage. I'm not sure if Aurora would ever be that cruel. Well, his crime seems, at the moment, I mean, it's hard to charge someone for stuff they would have done. I mean, this is not Minority Report. I don't think we can judge him based on what we saw in that future, because it never actually happened. At least, not really. Let's put him in the service of Redcliffe's mages. After all, he was trying to enslave them. So maybe a little turnaround is in order.
You swore to the mages you'd help them. I will have you uphold that promise. Fiona will take charge of you. Any knowledge, favor, or coin you own will go towards the mage's future.
A headsman would have been kinder.
Looks like the only person who disapproved was Sarah. And that's, of course, because she wants to see the people who are cruel when they're in charge get their comeuppance. So I can imagine why she'd be disappointed. Alright. Any last words, Josephine, before we head into the war room?
And what else did Lady Forsythia say? That she'd rather drown herself than help the Inquisition. Anything else? She said she'd have us flogged alive if we allied with her brother. That does sound like her. Cheer up, Josie. We at least have her attention. You always do find the brighter side of things.
We are in the midst of cementing an alliance with Lady Forsythia of Nevada, your worship. It's become a somewhat delicate task.
Can I do anything to help negotiations?
Thank you, but I believe I have matters in hand. I dissuaded her from sending soldiers when she learned we'd struck an accord with a brother she's feuding with. Lady Forsythia simply employs a colorful manner of speech.
You're rather good-natured about threats of death and dismemberment.
They are chiefly bluster, Inquisitor. Most of them. But I confess I do miss my staff from the embassy in Antiva. It was always useful to discuss the day's visitors with them.
I have time if you'd like to review things with me.
I wouldn't wish to impose.
If it were imposing, I wouldn't have offered.
Well, I admit there are a few potential alliances it would be good to discuss. Right on the parlor floor, in front of everyone at the soiree. Who does such a thing in front of their guests?
The Duke of Kellington, apparently.
And then there's Cole's lurking. It frightens our guests half to death. Lord Jennar still won't respond to our letters. And Sarah, can she not find a single overshirt without mustard stains on it? Then there's Dorian. The man refuses to take anything seriously unless it suits its whim. Not to mention... Oh goodness. Have we been here an hour already?
It went by so quickly, I didn't even notice.
You're far too polite. I didn't intend to go on for so long. You must think me quite the gossip.
Spending time with such an engaging woman is never unpleasant, Lady Montillier.
Goodness. Well, I'm glad I haven't wasted your day. Well, I've taken up quite enough of your time already. Until next time, your worship.
Very cute. Sometimes the cutscenes, though, they tend to always drop you off in a default location, and often it's not where you want to be. Let's go this way again. Yeah. Anything else?
A pleasure.
What do the people make of us?
We've gathered many favors among the nobility. They will be gently reminded of this.
Any visiting dignitaries I should watch out for?
You may see the Countess Lutetia in the halls. A lovely woman, but her conversations tend towards the unusual. She's the patron of Orlay's greatest naturalists. The Countess's particular passion is collecting butterflies.
That doesn't sound unusual.
She goes into great detail about preserving them. It seems to involve large amounts of chemicals and pins.
Alright, let's see what we can do at the war table here. Alright, everybody should be able to report back now from what they've been doing. Alright, Madame Ambassador, I would be honored to accept your invitation. I shall make arrangements to pay the Inquisition a visit presently, as I've been most curious to see your organization for myself. C'est le Comte Renal de Molière. Okay. Josephine's been building some more influence for us. Alright, investigate Thermophil Redoubt. This is where we sent the chargers. Thanks to the distraction provided by Inquisition scouts, the chargers were able to get into Thermophil Redoubt. It's largely deserted, but there are clear signs that the Templars joined a much greater force. We found a refined form of lyrium and a large number of Templar corpses. Judging by their wounds, they were executing after falling ill. We also found signs of demonic activity, although there were no rifts present. This place was home to something powerful and malevolent, and judging from the signs of violence at the redoubt, it fled when the main force of the Templars left. Lieutenant Cremisius Aclassi. Now, of course, in the game, it doesn't matter whether you do this mission at any given time. It doesn't affect the Chargers. The Chargers will always survive the attack on Haven. But for this playthrough, I like to think that the reason that they survived the attack on Haven is because they weren't there. Aside from the Iron Bull, they were all doing this mission. And lastly, reclaiming the Mage Rebellion. Commander, a lot of mages just showed up. I hope they're friendlies, because if they're not, we're in trouble. Captain Ryland. And we saw some of them in the gate room. We have a lot of missions, as you can see. A number of these probably I'll have to have them running off camera. Let's see if there's any in particular I'd like to start up. Let's see. Memorial for Haven. Ambassador Montelier. Although we have not always seen eye to eye, I believe that on this subject we will be in perfect agreement. I would like to build a monument at the site where Haven stood as a memorial to all those who gave their lives defending the faith. Shall we work together to honor these fallen heroes, Madame Ambassador? Marquis de Relian. I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe this was the man who originally owned the land that the Haven was built on. We talked to him earlier in the game. Looks like this is a preference quest for Cullen. I'm sure I can get some volunteers from our ranks to help with the construction.
All right.
Specializations for the Inquisitor. Oh yeah, we wanted to get the Arcanist. Sorry. So let's do that. Oh, and this one takes absolutely no time at all. Skyhold has incredible potential for rune crafting and mastercraft smithing. If only I had a gifted mind to gain full benefit. The war and the Venatori have claimed many experts, but we have located an Arcanist with great skill and a reputation for humbling first enchanters in both Androstrian and Imperial circles. 2 assassination attempts and at least 1 explosion have made landholders reluctant to allow her passage through their territory. It will take significant effort to bring her from Tantervale, but this Arcanist would be invaluable to the Inquisition. To bar passage, they must know she's there. They will not. So Liliana will smuggle her in. The Arcanist has been secured despite great cost and concern, and the concern of more than a few traditional-minded mages. She awaits a meeting in the Inquisitor in the Undercroft. It was such a secret mission that we did it instantaneously. See, an ally from Starkhaven. That's Sebastian's territory, I believe. The Inquisition has received a missive from Starkhaven. Most cordial greetings. Ah yes, it is from Sebastian. My name is Sebastian Vale, sole heir of the Vale Princes of Starkhaven. I recently retook the throne of this great city from those who sought to gain it through unjust means. As a most devoted adherent of the Chantry, I feel the loss of Most Holy Justinia V keenly. I too hoped for a resolution to the terrible conflict that claimed the lives of hundreds in Kirkwall, and now threatens to claim all of Thedas. I extend Starkhaven's hand in friendship to the Inquisition. Together let us right the wrongs visited upon our world. Prince Sebastian Vale. Josephine says, I will send emissaries. Though the free march of cities have always been independent, earning the support of the most prosperous ones may be to our advantage.
Let us begin.
So yes, let's get the help of Sebastian. Alright, mediate between Ostwick noble families. Inquisitor, you may recall we offered your distant relatives in the Free Marches a promise of aid. One branch of your family has asked you to mediate their dispute with another, but their description of events is rather convoluted. It apparently began with an insult during the harvest ball in Ostwick over the quality of their milk... You just say milk, I guess? CH instead of K? Milk cows. And escalated into a pitched battle between 200 soldiers last week. Yikes. Really, it would do us good to step in, if only to preserve the name of the Trevelyan's as a whole. Ambassador Montilier. My spies could try to untangle who's truly at fault, but it may not matter if blood has been spilled.
Let's see what we have.
Okay. Alright, now, at this point, I just want to let you guys know about the missions that we're about to start going on. I actually went to the Dragon Age wiki and I looked around at all of the various areas and side quests. Just trying to see if there's any particular ones that I really wanted to show on camera. And there's a couple. And so at this point, I think what I'm going to do is, since I still have a good amount of power here, I am going to go on and proceed to the next story mission. However, after that story mission, I'll probably need to build up some more power before I can go to the next one. And in that case, I'll go on a few of the side missions because that'll have the added benefit of building up the power that I need to continue the story anyway. And I think, so we are going to go to Orlais, I think. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, the cost is 30. We have more than enough power for that. The only thing I want to do is just say hello to our Arcanist down in the Undercroft, and then we'll get to it. Basically, it comes to a balance of how the fact that I do want to show you as much of the game as I can, but also with the fact that as of this recording, I only have about maybe between 2 to 4 major recording sessions left before the school year starts up. And once that happens and I have to start teaching again, I may have to, I won't take a break, but I may have to limit the, I can't talk right now, limit the pace in which I release. So I want to get as much done before that happens.
Inquisitor?
The Arcanist has arrived.
You should see for yourself.
Rather macabre.
Hello there. Well, don't just stand there slack-jawed. Let's figure out what you need.
And yes, for those of you who played the first game, it's Dagna. It's the one dwarf in all of Orzammar who wanted to go join the Circle of Magi, even though, as a dwarf, she could never be a mage. And Warden Vexus actually helped her by writing a letter of recommendation to the first enchanter at the Circle of Magi in Ferelden. And we were told that she actually did a lot of research while she was there.
You're the magical advisor?
Oh, you're her. The Inquisitor. I'm Dagna. Arcanist Dagna. It's an honor, your worship. Is that it? The hand anchor mark? It's pretty. And the breach was pretty too, in a destroy everything sort of way.
I welcome you to the Inquisition and look forward to your contribution.
Me too. I've heard some impossible things. I love impossible things. Those are the best to make, well, possible. I've looked at Herod's devices. The precision is fantastic, but typical. Mundane. Old thinking.
Is what now?
No disrespect meant to the classical trades, but you need a new perspective. I've made adjustments. As long as I keep making them, you can craft just about anything. Almost safely.
Almost safely. I like it.
What's that you do, exactly?
I was born to the forge. That's literal in this mythcast. So the hammer and tong, that's like a heartbeat. But you've a man for that already, and a good one. I'm here because of my passion for magic. Magical study, magical theory, magical enchantment, and through it, the manipulation of masterworks. I studied it all with an objective eye. No secrets, no fears. That lets me apply principles like no other. Maybe one other, but I don't have that wonky of a mind, so I still kind of win.
I'm pretty sure she's referring to Mr. Enchantment himself. And actually, I was surprised to not see him here. When I first played this game and they said that they were sending out for an arcanist who was going to, basically start enchanting our weapons, I was certain that it would be... oh, my mind's gone again. What's his name? Bodan's son. Man. How is it when I want to think of these names? I can never think them up. Man, that bothers me. Sorry about that. But anyway, he's been enchanting our weapons for the first 2 games. So I thought that certainly he would be in this game. But unfortunately, he's not. But that said, having Dagna here instead, I think, was still a nice touch. Again, taking a very minor character from the first game and bringing them back for this game.
What's the story with enchanting?
Lyrium is the heart. In certain rational patterns, it beats like something alive. That's how I see it. So, a mage can make your weapons do things, but with the right runes, the right rarities, your toys become wonders. It's the one thing mages can't do. Drives them mad. Literally. Dwarves are resistant, so it doesn't affect us. Mostly.
Sandal. That's the name. I thought of it while she was talking. Good old Sandal. It's kind of weird, too, because he was... The last we heard of them, he was going to work for the Empress in Orlais. So it's kind of strange to not see him around here right now.
You have the ability to make exceptional weapons and armor. Masterworks?
There's an art to the forge, as well as enchanting. You need an ear for it. And hands. Eyes, too. Nothing bad to say about Herod on that front. He's wonderful. But there's this little more needed. With the right bits, an edge can be more than an edge. Armor can do more than protect. A hue can be just a bit brighter. In short, smithing can be more. In short.
She's so nice. But still somewhat eccentric, as you might imagine.
Another time, Dagna.
Of course. Bring me what you want made, and I'll make sure it goes just right.
So yeah, in addition to all of the original mechanics that we have for either making weapons or improving weapons, we now have... oops, I think is it over here? Oh, I guess they're not active till we come back here next time. But you can, basically, these devices over here, you can go and add enchantments to your weapons and armor.